Good afternoon and welcome to TurkTalk on OutQ, channel 149, Sirius Radio Network. And I'm your host, James Turk. The time is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today on TurkTalk, will there be public backlash to all the gay media attention? Madonna does Gap? Gays and lesbians and alcoholism, are we more likely to get messy? All this and more after a word from our sponsor. News, information, and entertainment for the gay and lesbian community. OutQ is the only 24/7 nationwide source of news, information, and entertainment specifically for the gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender community. OutQ is the place to turn to for the most up-to-date news and information for gay and lesbian listeners. TurkTalk airs weekday afternoons at 4 p.m., hosted by me, James Turk. So please join us then to discuss all the issues that are important to you. Hi, and welcome back to the program. This is James Turk, and thank you for joining us on TurkTalk. Today on our panel, we have Ron Sims, the manager of the Slide Bar here in New York City, which is one of the hottest places in the city, and also Brian Brennan, gay and lesbian talent scout for BMG Entertainment, who has a new book coming out entitled Singing Like a Fag. We'll also be taking calls from our guest, and we encourage all of you out there listening to call in and ask questions, give us your opinion, or just say hi. The call-in number is 800-555-1212. Again, that's 1-800-555-1212. Well, welcome, gentlemen.
Hey.
Hello.
Thank you.
How are you guys today?
I'm doing good.
Pretty gay.
Good to hear. So before we get on to the topics today, why don't we talk a little bit about what's happening with you guys. Ron, how's everything over at the Slide?
Oh, the Slide's going really well. We are in our 7th month now, and it's catching on really. We're so proud of what's going on. Our Friday, Saturday, Thursday nights are going really well. We have this wonderful supersized Sunday, which is like a mock of American Idol. This mock-up of American Idol.
Okay.
This talent contest. And we have Roadhouse Tuesdays, which is going to be the first all-male gay Coyote Ugly. So that's just getting started.
Excellent.
We have some wonderful promoters working for us, getting people in there, and we have to have a great staff. Just really proud of the whole thing.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job. Every time I go over there, I get a little lucky in Kentucky, so to speak. And I always have a great time. The music's great. It's a great crowd. For those of you who don't live in New York City, next time you're in New York, you have to go by there. It's got a really interesting, downtown vibe to it, and it's just a lot of fun. And Ron, you guys are doing a great job. And thank you for being with us today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Okay. And Brian, so tell me, are you on the verge of discovering some young Katie Lang or George Michael out there?
I'm always looking.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at you, honey.
Uh-huh. Very good. So tell us about your new book. What is this, Singing Like a Fag? Is that going to be offensive to people?
No, not if you sing like a fag, it won't.
I suppose.
You need to read it if you don't, also.
I know. I heard the early buzz is that it's like really good.
It took a while to compile all the information and all the faggotry. It needed to, be crystallized into a few certain chapters and then verses, and it's very... something everybody should read.
Excellent. So for those of you who don't know, Singing Like a Fag will be available in most gay bookstores starting when, at the end of August?
The end of August, early September.
So that's great. I'm sure it'll be a big success, Brian. All of you run out there and get a copy of Singing Like a Fag. Again, it will be available in bookstores at the end of August. Okay, so back to our discussion today. Something I've been really curious about, and I want to get y'all's opinion on it, is with all this exposure that gay people are getting in the media right now and all the television programming, are we in danger of having some type of backlash from Middle America? Is it too much too soon, and are people going to have some type of negative reaction, bigger than their normal negative reaction? Ron, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't think so. I think this is something we've been wanting for such a long time. To be visible in the community, to be visible in the world and in the nation, and not only as something of negative connotation, but in a positive light. Where we're in the media, we're in pop culture, we're on television, we're in films, we're in music, and we're everywhere. I mean, there's still so many places for us to go, but I don't think that there's going to be a backlash. I don't think that it's too much right now. I just wish there was more, actually, and I'm just glad that we're being portrayed in a positive light where we don't commit suicide or die or go off to jail at the end of the story.
And we're not the psycho killer. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is refreshing. My only concern right now is the fact that we're kind of, I feel like we're being stereotyped into these kind of ideas of what people think of are acceptable gay characters. Almost like, the trend there for a while was that, in movies it was okay to have like the well-adjusted gay neighbor with the dog. And I feel like this is kind of an extension of that. Like it's okay to have a gay friend as long as they have some function, being a hairdresser or like an interior designer, as long as they can help you in some way. Brian, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think, of course, as a gay man, I want to see more too, but I think we're probably running a slight risk of oversaturating the hetero middle America mentality with all the faggotry and Ponzi queens running around. I think it might be a little, I don't mind, of course, but I think, a bit at a time is maybe more pragmatic than forcing down people's throat.
But it has been a little bit at a time. We started off with Billy Crystal and Soap. That was way back in the 70s. And then we had another show on television, Dr. Doctor, where the doctor had a gay brother. And then now we finally had Ellen, and we've had a spattering of people on soap operas and a couple in movies that weren't the sissy, weren't the Tony Randall types or the
Randall's gay.
or the Clifton Webb type. And now it's just like back in the early back in the early days of film. You had your Step and Fetch It, you had your mammies, for black people, and it took how many years for us first to get from Step and Fetch It to Cosby. So it's just going to take some more time, and now people are more aware. Now there's more of an opportunity to see the things that we weren't able to see back then. So it's more media now, more opportunities for media.
Right, and that's a good point. But I guess my question to both of you guys, if you can just put some language to the idea of is there going to be some type of backlash? I can't help but feel that every time, as a gay man, I start to get comfortable in our place in society in America, that something happens. I'll get a little comfortable, things have really changed, and then something will happen, especially with Bush being president and all these right-wing conservatives out there. I can't help but think that they've got some master plan that they're going to roll out, and whether it's pulling, advertising dollars, they're going to do something. And I wonder if this is going to be some type of some type of backlash that we're going to be, that we're going to regret.
Yeah, I think it happens regardless. We'll be in the closet. There'll still be a backlash because people don't like fags usually. But I think, I don't know. I just tend to think that the more you stick your head out, which we have to do, but the more you stick your head out, the more people are going to have a reason to dislike you.
Absolutely. Okay, on to our next topic, something much more fun to discuss. Madonna does Gap. Have you guys seen the commercial?
I saw it once, briefly.
I saw it in passing. I was on my way, to the bathroom.
Stop with the hot talk.
Exactly. That's too much information, Ron. Yeah. Well, I saw it, and I was a little reluctant. I'm like, oh, Madonna, Gap. Is this just another, reincarnation of her career? And I got to tell you, it's fabulous. It's really, really good. Well, first of all, I love Missy Elliott, and I think it's a great pairing of people and talent.
Love Missy Elliott.
Yeah, fabulous. Who looks fabulous, by the way. And
she lost a lot of weight.
She lost a lot of weight.
She's thin and trim now.
Thin and trim, and her and Madonna break it on down to the commercial starts off with her singing her song, Madonna singing her song Hollywood, and then Missy Elliott breaks out singing Groove Is in the Heart in sort of a rap format, and they kind of go back and forth. It's awesome. Madonna looks great, and good for her for just staying out there. And hello, Madonna watch check, 20 years she's been doing this.
Yeah, but does Madonna really need to be doing a Gap commercial? Does she need more money or exposure? I'm just curious.
I think the girl likes to work, and she likes to keep herself busy. And
let's talk about overexposing yourself and backlash. She's been pretty masterful in not having a backlash somehow.
True. Ron, what do you think?
True.
Missy Elliott in the house. Flip it, reverse it.
So for those of you who have not seen it, I think it's terrific, and I think it's great that that Madonna still looks so great, and she's still out there doing her thing, and just keep on going. And I just can't believe how long she's been doing this, and I guess how old I'm getting, because I was in high school when Madonna first came out and cut to
your hair blonde.
Exactly. I had a big wedge cut. I had a blue black cellophane and a wedge cut. It was really attractive. Okay, so unfortunately, that's all the time that we have for today. I'd like to thank you, Ron Sims, once again, manager of the Slide Bar. For those of you who are coming to New York City, or if you live in New York City, you must get down there. It's a must stop of your gay bar tour.
Open bar every day, 5:30 to 6.
Tell him Ron sent you. He'll buy you one. Also, Brian Brennan is promoting his new book. He'll be on a tour promoting Singing Like a Fag. So make sure you can catch him in bookstores starting at the beginning of September.
Right, correct. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and tomorrow on Turk Talk, an exclusive interview with Dennis O'Hare, who recently won a Tony for his portrayal of a gay character in the breakout hit Take Me Out on Broadway. We're going to talk to Dennis about what it is like being a gay actor who is out in this industry, among other things. Please join us then. Coming up next is the John McMullen Show. Thanks again for joining Turk Talk.